to the Mac, where legends are made. Spud Kings on the ice, ready to invade. The Grim Reaper breaks free, impossible to tame. The wall defends, shutting down the game. Edwards and Smith, a true tag team. Breaking through the lines, they play supreme. The Spud Kingdom rises, loyal and proud. Idaho Falls rocking, we're bringing the crowd. Spud Kings, we own this night. The kingdom roars like fire, we ignite. Coming for the cup, we bring the fight. Spud Kingdom, we rise, unite.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the Spud Kingdom podcast. I am your host as always, Woody. Hope you're having a great day, because I am, because it's game day, baby. We'll get to that here in just a minute. As always, my list for today, as far as my rundown, I got some trivia coming up. Well, we're going to start off the bat with that. Got the weekend wrap-up, 2 games versus Grand Junction. They were in town this last weekend. We'll get to that. 3 stars of the week. Since we had a couple games, I could kind of give you a better synopsis of some 3 stars. Also, because there's been a couple weeks played, I'm going to have the first overall standings of the year. And then I got the week preview, starting with tonight's game. So, with that being said, let's get it started. Trivia for the week. I'm going NHL with this one. I wanted to kind of go back and forth to give you guys, broader trivia, I guess. So, back to the NHL. Which goalie led the NHL in wins during the 2024-2025 season? Once again, I will have the answer to that at the end once we get through all the recap and everything. Give you some time to think about it, come up with an answer, Google it if you want. But I'll get to the answer to that. Let's get it going. Let's start with the weekend recap. So, Game 1, Saturday, September 20th, 2025 at the MAC versus the Grand Junction Riverhawks. The Spud Kings looked real flat in this game compared to the Riverhawks. It almost looked like that second preseason game that we went to. First period, Spud Kings would win the shot battle to start the game. Riverhawks had 7 shots on goal. Spud Kings had 11. Unfortunately, the Spud Kings couldn't get any in the net, but the Riverhawks were able to get one. At 4 minutes, 39 seconds, Sammy Kelly would be the first to get one past Sabev. That would be the only goal for the period, as it would be a defensive battle to start the game. The period would end 1-0 Riverhawks. Second period, this period would be all Riverhawks, unfortunately. Grand Junction had 9 shots on goal. Spud Kings only had 8. Sabev would completely fall apart in this period, and the defense didn't help him out very much either in any way. I even overheard some fans saying that they felt like the game might have been too fast for him after this period was over. Pardon me, guys. At 5 minutes, 11 seconds, Isaiah Yates would strike and make it 2-0 for the Riverhawks. Just over 6 minutes later, at 11 minutes, 24 seconds, Yurgo Schwartz would add to the party. And almost 5 minutes later, 17 minutes, 14 seconds, Kasper Pojala would put in his 2 cents, and the period would end 4-0 Riverhawks. Third period, the Spud Kings would try to mount a little bit of a comeback. Grand Junction only had 5 shots on goal, so that helped a little bit. And the Spud Kings had 18. So it's not like they gave up and just laid there dying. They put up some work in the third period and tried to make a little bit of a comeback. They would finally strike at 6 minutes, 53 seconds. DJ the Beast McLeish would slap one home for the goal for his second on the year, and he was assisted on the play by Andrew Schmidt and Caleb Lepitre. That was his first. Less than 2 minutes later, at 8 minutes, 24 seconds, Andrew Schmidt. He would get his first of the year. So he got an assist earlier and gets his a goal here. And he was assisted by DJ the Beast McLeish for his first assist of the year, and Leo the Mantenuto his second on the year. This would be too little too late, though. The Spud Kings would be shut down the rest of the game, and the Riverhawks would win 4-2. The goalie that the Riverhawks had, he was really good. He reminded me of Pueblo's goalie last year, Peck, at the beginning of the season, how good he was doing and how it was always a battle when we played those guys. So very good game from the Riverhawks. It was I enjoyed every minute of it, except for the fact that we lost. For the most part, it was a defensive battle. That second period was, oh man, it was heartbreaking, but it was pretty good minus that. Game 2, though, was Sunday, September 21st, 2025, at the MAC versus the Grand Junction Riverhawks once again, back-to-back days. This game would be a little later, better than previous night. The Spud Kings definitely had more energy. Starting in the first period, the shot battle would be pretty even in the first. Well, not pretty even, it was even. Grand Junction had 12 shots on goal, and Spud Kings also had 12. It'd be about halfway through the period before anyone would score, though, and at 9 minutes 42 seconds, Braden Olson would get his first on the year, and he was assisted by Lucas Ronner and DJ the Beast McLeish for his second. 11 seconds later, like literally, I don't even know if Javi got to finish announcing that we scored the goal, scored the goal. He might have even been saying make some noise. I don't even think he announced who scored the goal. And next thing you know, another goal would take place. And at 9 minutes 53 seconds, Owen Byer would get his first on the year, and he was assisted by the stash, Bookie Warshaw, for his first on the year, and Charlie Grant for his second. Scoring was stalled the rest of the period, and it would end 2-0 Spud Kings. The second period, now the period would see a lot of shots go up, but the goaltending battle was in full force, led by Devin Dagenstein. This dude, I don't know if it's Dagenstein or Dagenstein. I thought I heard Javi say Dagenstein when he announced him. Almost sounded like Dagenson. But this guy, he was putting on a show, and I don't know if he was trying to earn that starting goaltending battle, but man, I was enjoying watching him play. Grand Junction had 5 shots on goal, so defensive would pick it up a little bit. Spud Kings had 14. So many close chances, but neither goalie was having it. Because even the Riverhawks had a different goalie in this night, or this day. This game was a 3:05 game. They had a different goalie this game, and he was doing just as well as the guy the night before. So watch out for this team. For being a brand new team, they put together a really good roster from what I can see. No goals to show for the period, so it would end 2-0 Spud Kings. Third period, hardly any shots on goal from either team at this point. It was a straight defensive battle. Spud Kings were playing not to lose. Grand Junction just couldn't get it together. They only had 3 shots on goal. Spud Kings had 2. The goalies didn't face much in this one, and they stopped all that they would come their way. As I said, they were killing it for the most part of the game. And the period and the game would end 2-0. Spud Kings win! Dagenstein would get the shutout, stopping all 20 shots he faced. Beautiful performance by the goalie. I hope if Alex gets another shot, he can do this, because I know he has the potential. I've seen him do it. I was watching him play in the preseason, and I was giving him names like the Sabertooth, because he had cat-like reflexes, and he was a big brick out there. He was a beast. He was being a beast. So let's see if Alex gets another shot soon, and if he does, let's see if he can take full advantage. Dagenson, if he continues to be the backup, awesome. We're set if that's the case. Because if Alex picks it up and does what we know he can do, and Dagenson is there to back up, and they can give each other a break every once in a while, we're set. We're set at the goalie position. So with the recap being done, let's get to the 3 stars of the week. My third star of the week, only because he played the one game, but he did post out the shutout, was David Dagenstein. Because of the shutout versus the Riverhawks, he faced 20 shots. He stopped them all. And if he would have played the other night, I don't know what would have happened. But he's only the third star because of only the one game. And that's just my opinion, because these other 2 guys, they shelled out for both games. So my second star, Andrew Schmidt. 1 goal and 1 assist on the weekend. He was a big contributor in our weekend matchup in general, and he always plays hard no matter what the situation is. I think he's starting to finally get some chemistry with that first line. The first game that looked like they didn't really have it together, but it looks like they're starting to feel it and starting to get that chemistry that we know from those guys. And then my first star of the week, DJ the Beast McLeish. This guy had 1 goal and 2 assists on the weekend, doing what he can to help us win and just doing his thing out there. He was laying on the hits. He was hustling hard. He wasn't taking no crap from anybody. He's wearing that C on his chest with pride this year. Somebody asked me if I thought DJ was being more tame this year. I replied that at the time, I know he's healing from an injury, so that might be part of it. But maybe it has a lot to do with that C on his chest. Maybe he feels like now he's the captain. He needs to be a captain. Yeah, be the intimidator and be that guy that like sticks up for his teammates. But at the same time, we need him on the ice. So maybe he is a little bit more tame because he's got that C on his chest. But he's still playing great. So my 3 stars of the week. Third star, Devin Dagenstein. Second star, Andrew Schmidt. And number 1 star of the week, DJ the Beast McLeish. So some standings after the first 2 weeks of the season. They are as follows. First place, the Ogden the Ogden Mustangs. They have a 4-0 start to the season, and they have 8 points in the standings. So they have a quick head start on everybody. They are in first place. Second place, the team that we just played this weekend, I tell you, we got to look out for the Grand Junction Riverhawks. They played 5 games this year. They're 2-3 on the season, but one of those losses was an overtime loss. So they have a total of 5 points in the standings, puts them in second. Third place, your Idaho Falls Spud Kings. They've only played 3 games this year. They have a 2-1 record so far, and it gives them 4 points in the standings. So not far behind second, but we are doubled up by Ogden at this point. Yes, they played 1 more game, but we have a loss and they don't, so we got to pick that up a little bit. And with that, let's get to the answer of the trivia question. So if you guys don't remember, I'll give you a fresh little recap of what the question was. Which goalie led the NHL in wins last season, which would be the 2024-2025 season? And the answer is there's actually 2. Connor Hellebuck of the Winnipeg Jets and Alexander Gorgiev of the Colorado Avalanche. Both had 37 wins last year. So I know, kind of trick question, but hey, you know what? That happens every once in a while with some of these trivia questions. I think we've had multiple answers before on a question. So, question, which goalie led the NHL in wins last season? Answer, both Connor Hellebuck of the Winnipeg Jets and Alexander Gorgiev of the Colorado Avalanche. Let's get to the week preview. So game 1 this week is versus Casper Warbirds. And on Wednesday, September 24th at the MAC. This game was originally in Casper, and it was supposed to be tomorrow night, but they moved it due to scheduling conflicts with their arena there in Casper. And because we have something going on, I believe tomorrow it got moved to today. So it is tonight at the MAC, 7:05 puck drop as usual. Let's see if we can build some momentum. And then game 2 is Friday, September 26th, also at the MAC versus Casper as well. This will be championship flag giveaway night. Also 7:05 start time as our usual. Come support our boys as they try to defend the Deneen Cup. We need you guys out there to make some noise. I know Sunday is Sunday, and it's hard to get out and come to these games, so the crowd was a little bit smaller there. And I feel like some of these sellouts, we're missing a lot of you out there. So come out. Let's support these boys. They need you. And if you don't have a chance to get to the games, check it out on Black Bear TV. pricey, but it's worth it just because you can watch our boys play. So thank you always for tuning in. We will see you next time. And as always, go Spud Kings.
Rivals crumble as the anthem plays. The beast off the leash setting the stage ablaze. Edwards with the setup, Schmidt with the strike. Spud Kings on the rig, rewriting the hype. Fear the stash, it's the pride of the crew. The Spud Kingdom strong, loyal through and through. Blood and sweat, our victory's clear. We're the kings of Idaho Falls that our rivals fear.
Wrap around the 10, score!
The kingdom roars like fire we ignite.
Andrew Schmidt
bring the fight. Spud
with the goal.